What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. This video is all about Star Wars Rebels and why you need to be watching it if you are a Star Wars fan. I'm going to lay out all the reasons. I'm going to sell you on this thing, and then I'm going to tell you what you need to watch in order to catch up quickly if you don't want to invest in all of seasons 1 and 2. So I finally got to sit down and watch the premiere of season 3 and the first, I guess, official episode, because they do these weird 40-minute movies that are kind of like the intro to the season, and I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. But basically, guys, I'm not going to do reviews of each episode. I quite frankly don't have the time right now with all the things that are going on in my life, but I definitely needed to do a video about Rebels, and I decided, why not? I'm going to try to get as many people as I can to watch the show for no other reason than the fact that I think it's completely dope. I mean, obviously Disney isn't paying me. We might have a little better backdrop if they were. So this is just my fandom coming out. Look, guys, I live and breathe Star Wars. I am a huge fan, and I am telling you, this show needs to go high on your totem pole. High on your totem pole. Skip some of this other stuff and put Rebels up there. So let's get into exactly why I believe this. Now, first I want to start with the action. All Star Wars fans love the action that are in these movies and books and comic books. I mean, it's called Star Wars. We love the spaceships, we love the laser fighting, we love the lightsabers, we love the Force, and I am telling you guys, this show showcases some amazing things, from piloting to Force abilities to lightsaber fights to hand-to-hand combat. So much amazing Star Wars action goodness going on in this thing. Just in the first episode, there is a scene where our heroes break out of prison. Things don't go according to plan. One of the main characters has to utilize both his Force abilities and his lightsaber. And I'm telling you, like, this stuff is crazy. It gets you going. The way he's flipping around with that saber, the way he's deflecting stuff. He even uses his Force abilities to take control of an Imperial vehicle. This character is very, very strong with the Force. It's Ezra Bridger. That's who I'm talking about. Ezra Bridger, really, really dope character. You've got to see it to believe it. But even beyond what he's capable of or what he did in the first episode, you go all the way back. I mean, these guys are smugglers that are kind of cozying up to the idea of working with the rebellion. I mean, they're essentially there now, but that is kind of the storyline, right? So you can imagine smuggling and trying to stay off the Empire's radar. This causes conflict. There's a ton of conflict in this show, and the action is all handled really, really well. I know for some people it may be hard to get past that animation type. I mean, I personally have zero issue with it whatsoever, because I believe in like a mise-en-scène. Like, if it's consistent and it draws me in, I suspend my disbelief. But this most recent season, just in the 2 episodes that I've seen, they've really stepped up the rendering and the animation. It looks really, it looks beyond even what was capable at the end of the Clone Wars. And this show is, of course, the baby of Dave Filoni, who I talk about in a lot of videos, guys. I really respect this guy a lot. Great creator. Started as an animator. Actually went to the same college as I went to for anime. We had some of the same teachers. He is a brilliant individual. So happy to see his success. But my point is this. Dave was George Lucas's Padawan. He literally worked for Lucas for 10 years and studied directly under him. And Lucas is a live action guy. So all of the things and principles that Lucas taught to Dave for animation, it all stems from live action. So you're going to feel right at home, and the action is going to remind you of what you see on the big screen. In some cases, I truly believe it's better. If you look at the last 2 episodes of the last season, wow, I mean, that's some of the best Star Wars I have ever seen. So you've got to check it out. If you dig Star Wars and you dig the action, that's reason number 1 as to why you need to be watching Rebels. But let's get to number 2. Number 2 is the mythology. The mythology created in this show is absolutely mind-bending, especially with what they are doing this season with the light side, the dark side, and the Bendu in the middle. They have trickled in aspects of the Grey Jedi, belief about the Force, kind of questioning the logic of wholly good or wholly evil. And it's really, really cool. It deeply informs, just in the way that Clone Wars does, it deeply informs your knowledge of the Star Wars universe and the mythology behind the Force itself. Very, very interesting stuff, guys. I promise you, you will walk away from Rebels if you invest a little bit of time, and you will be twice, if not 3 times more knowledgeable in the Force. And the beauty of this is that everything that goes on in Rebels is canonical. It affects the same universe that Finn and Rey exist in. It is all the same universe. So something that happens in this show has ramifications that are felt and seen in the movies, in the comic books, and in the novels. So it's really, really interesting. You know, they say that visual entertainment, which is why I do YouTube anyways, but visual entertainment is the best way to absorb information quickly. It's just the best way. That's kind of how we have kind of grown up as a society, being raised by television and that sort of things. You will get it after you watch this show, and you'll be able to be like that uber nerd at the parties and pull out that nerd card and start trumping people, not like you fired I'm gonna build a wall around America Trump, but like in the Spades is Trump kind of way. So I really, really believe, man, that this show and the mythology behind it is super valuable, and it's just one more reason why you have to give that. Are you hearing me? Give Rebels a chance. Are you hearing me? Okay, good. So let's get on to the next point. My last and probably most important point is that it simply feels like Star Wars. You combine the score and the scenes, the color palettes, the ships, it just feels like Star Wars. Like, if you love that feeling of walking into a theater and having the, you know, the Lucasfilm logo come up, it used to be that Fox thing, and then, you know, and Star Wars, like that vibe and that feeling, that's throughout. You want to talk about mise-en-scène, it is throughout these entire movies. That feeling, that vibe, which I think attracts all of us to these stories, is very prevalent throughout every single frame of Rebels. It quite frankly feels like Star Wars. It feels like I am watching a Star Wars movie every single week, and that alone should be enough. Like, trust your feelings. Like, just watch this show and then just examine how you feel about it and how you feel during it. I think if you did that, you know, it would be a very practical way to tap into the Force, and I think you would find that there's great value within the show for that reason. Not to get super metaphysical, but in honest to goodness, man, the way that it makes me feel is like that kid again. I remember being at my aunt's and watching the original trilogy on VHS and just being in awe and just loving it and just feeling as though I were there, and the all the vibes that come with that. So Rebels itself, it fulfills that, guys. And I'm telling you, this newest season, holy crap, like that first episode, it blew me away in so many different ways. But the most important one is it feels like Star Wars. Like it literally, like the ships come in, you don't question it at all. You're in the Star Wars universe. You're living it. You're living it. You're loving it, and it has all of the goodness that's coming in there. So, if you want to get it on Rebels, but you maybe don't want to invest all the time to watch seasons 1 and 2, well, what should you do? Where should you go from here? Well, I think that the ideal way to do it would be to watch all of those seasons. However, I'd say a close second would be to watch The Siege of Lothal, which was the first 40-minute movie thing that they did on TV. Then I would watch the one that they did for the second season, which actually that one might be named The Siege of Lothal. I don't remember, but they did 2 40-minute ones. I would watch the first season's 40-minute movie. I'd watch the second season's 40-minute movie. Then I would watch the 2-part ending of season 2. That is essential. In fact, if you're going to skip the first 2, the 40-minute things, totally fine. But you must watch the last 2 episodes of season 2. In fact, if you don't watch anything from Rebels and you just want to just check out a little bit, watch the last 2 episodes of season 2. Mind-bending stuff. Darth Maul's back. Vader jumps into the fold. They're talking about Sith holocrons. It's crazy and really, really dope. So getting back to that, I would watch the 240 minutes. I would watch the 2-part, and then I would just start and I would roll right into season 3, because season 3 is special. Season 3 is we're going so deep. Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn is back. You're gonna have Mandalorians and their conflict arising to disrupt both the rebels and the Imperials. You have the Bendu and the light and the dark side being folded into each other, and a deep, deep understanding of what the Force actually is. And you have Vader probably looking to bust some Jedi heads. I think that it's going to be absolutely incredible for so many different reasons. So get on that. That's what I recommend if you don't want to make the full investment. Do that sort of thing, and then check out season 3, because if you're not watching it, you're really missing out, guys. Honest to God, you are. Okay, so let's check that nerd card. The question is going to be Star Wars related, of course. And the question is about a character that popped up in Star Wars comics that is actually supposedly and confirmed to be the wife of Han Solo. Now, there's a whole bunch of story notes that go into this, but the bottom line is this: this character was and is married to Han Solo, okay? And the question I'm asking you is, what is her name? There was actually some recent casting news for the Han Solo picture, and it's possible that this character has just been cast to play a main role in that film, which would be really cool. But the question remains, what is the name of Han Solo's wife? Answer the question in the comment section below. Like the video if you thought it was cool. If you love Rebels, show this video some love, because honestly, everything I do with Rebels doesn't get all that many hits or likes, so I don't do a ton of videos on them. But if this video were to get a ton of love, perhaps I'd think about doing them more regularly. You know, I just kind of go with what the crowd likes, sort of thing. It's just kind of the way things work around here. So like the video if you thought it was dope and you want to see more Rebels stuff. And either way, guys, I hope you're having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya.